Hello there, everybody. We're going to set up Teresa's dialogue system next. Basically, correct some of the issues. We're going to follow the version that's posted in the whatever, however you pronounce that word, uh, text that you can find on the website. So yeah, as mentioned with the journal video, when this was constructed using the world canvas system with Unity 5, it all worked fine, but Unity 5.3 changed some stuff, so having to make these a little bit better for you guys. So I've got Teresa out there, and I've already added her dialogue detection just like we did in the chapter, and got her trigger right there, and we can verify that this is working. Here's our Sancho, go find your donkey. I'll turn that off by clicking it, and then we come over here and you can see they do the look at, and I get this error because I don't have the enable FSM that we turn on, which is going to be the actual starting dialogue one that we turn on later on. Alright, so we're pretty good there. Let's clear away this error, and for what we're going to be building here, let's go ahead and turn off Sancho's journal just so it's not in our way anymore, and then we'll take a look at Teresa. I see she's got a sword, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the sword and turn that off. I don't really know that she needs a sword. Maybe she does, I don't know. Okay, so let's build this system, and the way that we're going to have this dialogue system is we're going to have a section at the top that's going to be for the speaker, then a dialogue, then two buttons down below it, and we'll just throw this together. So game object, UI canvas. We'll throw our canvas out here. There it is over there. We will go ahead and change this to world space, and I'm going to build all of this and then kind of scale it down and go and see how that works out. So we've got our canvas. Let's add to our canvas. I'm going to change its name from canvas to dialogue, like so. And let's go ahead and let's leave it. Let's change it to dialogue. And then we'll right click, we will do a UI, we're going to do a text on this. We're going to need a couple of the texts. So for this first one, I'm going to call this, it's going to be named speaker. Speaker. I'm going to go ahead and give it a value of Teresa, like so. Can't really see what's going on over here, so let's double click on dialogue. Let's go to 2D so I can see this a little bit better. And there's my text. Okay, so let's move this up within my canvas like so, and I've got a tremendous amount of space, so let's go ahead and get all of this laid out correctly to begin with. So I'm going to take my canvas, get rid of 2D, and let's see, where is Teresa? Let's just select Teresa, copy her component, go to dialogue, and then we will just paste. Let's see, I can't do it that way. So let me memorize some stuff. So she's at -1.2 and 0.5. That'll do. So -1.2 and 0.5. All right. And let's start. Let's also go ahead and, like we did in the journal one, we'll go ahead and throw in a panel just to make it a little bit easier to see everything. There we go. And we'll get this scaled now. So let's start dropping it down. Oh, not the panel. Grab my canvas and let's drop my canvas down. Drop this one down. So let's go ahead and go down to 0.001. We'll start with this, 0.001. And let's zoom in on that and get it positioned over Teresa. Zoom. Where's Teresa? She's over here somewhere. Where you at, Teresa? There she is. We'll pull this up, and we'll put this kind of above her head. There we go. And I can use my game view over here to kind of get a rough idea of size here. Let's rotate you a little bit. Actually, let's look at Teresa's rotation. She's rotated 20, let's make this a whole number, 23 degrees, because I might be able to remember that. So then let's rotate our Y right here on 23. There we go. So now we're rotated the same. That's nice. Come over here. Let's move you like so. Okay. And now we can go ahead and get this resized a little bit better. So I'll bring up my scale here. And let's scale it maybe like so. And then maybe like so. Move it up a little bit more. Okay, let's get an idea. How does that look as our Sancho runs over here? Okay, so it's a little bit too tall, right? So scale it down some. Then move it down some. Okay. How does that look? And as we said in the chapter, this is kind of just a hack throw together. We're really going to do this quite differently when we do our user interface later on in chapter 10. Okay, so this looks like a good size, and I can see that this is backwards because I can see the capital T right there, so I'm going to have to rotate my canvas right here. So let's see, let's go ahead and rotate it. Wonder if we can do a negative 23. Yeah, that didn't help me. Oops. Undo that. Let's rotate like so. And get it roughly positioned just for our testing here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Run up here. And I can see her name up there, so it looks good. Now she moves and it doesn't move because it's currently not a child of her. So I'll go ahead and grab Dialogue and make it a child of Teresa. And there it goes. So now when we run up and make contact with her, let's do it from over here. Notice the Dialogue turns to face us as well. Alright, so that's pretty good size there. I'm going to dump the panel. Don't need that anymore. That was just used to get some stuff figured out. And let's start getting Teresa resized here. Okay, so we've got the speaker. Let us go ahead and I'm going to scale this one too. Maybe something like that. Let's move it down a little bit. And we'll just put it over there. See, I see I've got a little bit of room in here, so let's go ahead and maybe scale it down a little bit more. Yeah, maybe about like that. Okay, let's give it a different color and make it red. That's Teresa. Cool. Okay, so if we run over there, there we go, Teresa. And now we're ready to add some dialogue and a couple of buttons down below it. So I'll go to my dialogue here, right click, do a UI text, and this text, instead of being text, I'm going to call this dialogue. And what I'm going to have her say, let's see, we're going to have her say something like, hey Sancho, I've been looking for you, where have you been? So let's see, Sancho, let's see, so I'm going to change my text there. Trying to make sure I get the exact line that I wanted to say. I'm pretty sure it's where have you been, something along those lines, at least for starters. So let's go ahead and let's just throw in Sancho, where have you been, or whatever. You know, I'm just putting something out there right now, and then we'll tweak it some more later. We really probably should put the longest thing that she's going to say in there for our sizing, in which case if we take a look at what we've got in our design document here, we can see that it's probably this one is really what we need, this not looking too hard. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw that into what she's going to say here. So let's do not looking too hard, period. Anyway, we need to get this place cleaned up, period. Oops, not caps lock, period. Before we can get the animals in there. Pins. I did caps lock anyway. Cool. Before we can get find Dapple. Okay, so that's going to be her longest line right there. And we'll use that to kind of space this out and get a better feel. So let's go to W over here. W. And move this. Position this up over here. Kind of right over there somewhere. Let's get rid of our truncate on our vertical. Let's go with overflow so it shows the whole thing. And okay, now we can go ahead and do some scaling. I probably shouldn't have positioned it over there just yet. Now remember, I'm going to need a couple of buttons down there, so I have to pay attention to that as well. Okay, that's not too bad. We run out here, take a look at what we got. Yeah, that's not too bad. You know, it's a little bit blurry. Kind of, as I mentioned, this really is a hack that we're doing here. But we can straighten up the blurry a little bit. If we go up here to our canvas, if we increase our dynamic pixels per unit, we should be able to crisp that up some. You know, let's try like a 5. No. Maybe a 2, 3, 4. Now let's keep going. Play this, run over there. There we go. You can see that that's a lot crisper as we increase this. You know, maybe like a 20 or something, or you know, let's say we go with a 50, and you can see that made it smaller as well. So I'm just going to go with like a 20. You know, that's fairly crisp. That's good enough for what we're doing at this point in time, and we'll really change it much later on. Okay, so I've got my speaker, I've got my dialogue. Now I need my 2 buttons. So I'll go back to dialogue again, select UI button, and this, I'm going to call this option _1, and its text is going to be, let's see, what is Sancho's longest text? I guess, who are you? Let's go with that one. So we'll go down here to the text for option 1, and we'll say, who are you, like so, and get this positioned down inside here. So we'll go with our scale, and I'm pressing R on the keyboard to bring that up right there. And I'm scaling the text, not the button. That was a mistake, so let's scale the button. Let's move the button down a little bit, maybe right about there. And let's come over here, our option 1, I'm going to go ahead and Control D to duplicate it and change this one's name from option 1 to option 2. Go to its text, and this time I'm going to pick the blah 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 blah. I've been looking for you too. I've been looking for you, comma, 2, period. There we go. All right, let's move option 2 down. All right, right about there, maybe. Looks like, yeah, this, now I'm actually a little outside my canvas, but I'm not overly worried about that at the moment. Move my dialogue up maybe a little bit. And then maybe I can take both option 1 and option 2, move them up just a little bit as well. You know, maybe something like that. Notice my 2 is not showing up out there. We could go ahead and do a vertical overflow. See, it does that. It's up to us if we want to do it that way or not. I'm not really sure that I want to do that, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both option 2 and option 1. Oops. Option 2 and option 1. Go to my scale, and I'm going to scale them both up this way. And Yeah, that way it fits in there better. No, I don't like that at all. So yeah, I am going to go back here and let's just, on our vertical overflow, let's do overflow for both of these on our vertical overflow right there. Okay, let's take option 1 and option 2. I'm going to scale them up this way just a little bit so that my text still kind of looks okay. Drop them down. All right, let's see. What do we have here? How's this looking so far? Who are you? I've been looking for you too. Okay, yeah, there we go. Not too bad. We do have issues here, and as I've mentioned, we are really hacking this here. But let's see if we can tweak this up just a little bit better. Make this just a little bit taller, and maybe scale it out just a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. Let's move both speaker and dialogue up just a little bit. Okay, take my options here, move them down just a little bit. There. And I could actually move them down all the way down to like there, but then their Sancho covers them. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, of course, the game was running, so that means that all these changes I just made are now lost, right? So I'm just gonna kind of redo them over here real quick. Then select my dialogue, scale this up some, then select my speaker and move it up just a little bit. Okay, so now we've got our basic layout in place for our dialogue system. So we're ready to jump in and start creating our variables and then create our actual playmaker that's going to change dynamically as the player clicks and responds to things. Okay, so questions, just throw them down below in the comments and do my best to get them answered and get everything taken care of. Okay, bye-bye.